What's going on? I love you. Today we are starting the series of pride. Now the word pride is used throughout the Bible 58 times. And in our culture today, being proud is very, very common. It's even pushed. There's like a whole movement which twists the word pride to a whole new meaning. But ultimately, the word pride, the definition in the English definition, is a feeling of deep pleasure derived from one's achievements. So be proud of yourself. Give yourself the glory. You. Never looking towards God. Never giving God the praise and thanks because you achieved something. You're proud in yourself that you accomplished something, that you did this. So it was used 58 times throughout the Bible. And the word in Hebrew, proud, is Gaia, which means arrogant. And then also in Greek, since most of the New Testament was written in Greek, comes from the word yipophenos in Greek, which also means arrogant. So if you translate this word pride back to the original version as it was in the Bible, it all boils down to the word arrogant. Stop being arrogant. Stop being proud. Give God the glory through the hardships, through the failures, through your glory, through your accomplishments. Whatever you do on earth, give glory to God. Stop saying, I did this, I did this, I did this. It's not you. At the end of the day, it all should be pointing towards God. Stop taking pride in yourself. Stop thinking you can do things by yourself because you cannot. And throughout this whole series, I hope you understand that pride is not something we should be praising on a daily basis. That we should not be praising ourselves on a daily basis. We should be praising God at the end of the day. Say, God, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do this. God, I know I messed up, but please take this burden off me. God, I cannot do this alone. I need you. Stop saying, oh, I can do this. I don't need to ask for help. I got this. No. Get rid of that pride. Be firm. Be willing to ask for help when you need to ask for help. So I hope this series opens up a whole different perspective of pride for you. And so the first story I want to touch on about pride comes in Luke 15, and it's the prodigal son story. And yes, you may have never thought of this as a pride story, but I feel like it is a pride story because it relates so much to our culture. So I'm going to start in Luke 15, starting at verse 11. It goes on to say, Jesus continued, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger son said to his father, 'Father, give me the share of your estate.' So he divided up his property between them." So him asking for his father's share of his estate is basically telling his father, hey, I want you dead. I want my share now so I can go off and do whatever I want with my money. He wants his father's estate. He basically wanted his father dead. How many times do you find yourself in this situation? Oh, I need money now. I don't care how I get it. I need it. I need to go off on my own. I need to make that bag. I. No. Slow down. He didn't have to go to his father and say, Father, I want you dead. I want my money so I can go off and live. And this is what happens once his father says, you know what? Here's your share. In 13, he continues on to say, not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there he squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of the country who sent him to the fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. So he got his estate, he got his money, he went out and lived this luxury life just to lose it all. For what? Stop being selfish. Stop thinking you can do everything by yourself. No amount of money can fulfill your needs. It may fulfill your fleshly desires, but at the end of the day, you feeding your flesh is not helping you at all. You need to start feeding your spiritual self. Be wise with what you're doing. Stop living for this world. Stop trying to live life on your own. Because just like him, he's at a rock bottom right now, but the story picks up. I'm sure if you grew up in the church, you know the story. And if not, I'm going to continue on, and you will find out what happens with this son. So going on in 17, it says, when he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me one of your hired servants. So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still along his way, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for his son. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to the father, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to the servants, quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and the sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate, for this son of mine was dead and alive again. He was lost and is found. So they began to celebrate. So he hit rock bottom. He was basically eating pig slop, and he's saying, what am I doing in my life? Let me go back to my father and say, I'm going to work for you because I don't deserve to be called your son, because I basically told you to your face, I wanted you dead. I wanted my money. I wanted to live my whole life. And then he goes up and says, Father, I want to be your servant. But instead, the father is like, give him the best robe. Let's kill the fattened calf. Let's celebrate because my son who was lost is found again. The son finally realized, he let go of that pride. I cannot live life alone. I need my father's help. I need something to eat. I need the help of him. He let go of the pride. And now there was a second son. In 25, it goes on to say, meanwhile, the older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard the music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked him what was going on. Your brother has come, he replied, and your father has killed a fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound. The older son became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered, look, all these years I've been slaving for you, never disobeyed you. Yet you never gave me a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when the son of yours who had squandered your property with prostitutes comes home, you kill the fattened calf. So the second son, the older son, has jealousy. Once again, he's filled with pride. I've done all these things for you. You don't celebrate like this for me. But now that your son, who told you he wanted you dead, is back home, you're celebrating him? I've worked hard, Father. I did not leave your side. I helped you out. Why don't I get celebrated? Once again, it boils down to pride. I. Here is how the father responds. In 31, it goes on to say, my son, the father said, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we celebrate to be glad, because your brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So that is the end of the prodigal son story. And if you don't see pride in those two brothers, I think you completely missed that whole story. You need to go back and read it. It all boils down to I. Whatever that I looks like for you. God, I work every single day to help build the kingdom up, and yet my life still sucks. And then Susie over here, who doesn't even believe in you, just won $1 million? How is this fair? It all boils down to pride. Get rid of that pride. Give everything to God. Say, God, I cannot do this on my own. I need your help. And then vice versa. If you don't know who God is, he wants to have a relationship with you. Stop trying to live life on yourself because it's not going to work. Be willing to get uncomfortable and ask people for help. You cannot do everything yourself. You may think in this world you can. Oh, I don't need to ask for help. I got this. And then what? Something terrible happens because you try to do it yourself because you're too prideful to ask for help. Be vulnerable. Be willing to ask for help. before it's too late. You do not need to hit rock bottom in order to find God. You can find God at any point in your life. He loves you. He wants to have a relationship with you. So I hope throughout this whole series, you understand that we need to get rid of pride, because pride is a deadly thing at the end of the day, because it's I, and it's not God. Put your faith with God. Let everything happen. Stop trying to do life by yourself. It's not going to work. You may think it is going to work, but it's not going to work. Do not let Satan get in your head and do not let him say, oh, you can get out of this. You can do this yourself. You got this. You got this. It's you and you alone. That is a lie the enemy puts in your head. God loves you. He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants to walk by your side. You do not have to do life alone. Get rid of that pride. Stop saying, I, and say, God, I need you. I need you, God. I was lost and now I want to be found, God. I need you to do stuff that I want to do. I cannot do this. Only you can do this. I need you, God. Get rid of that pride. So I hope throughout this whole series, you realize how destructive pride could be and how we could get rid of our pride. I love you because you first loved me. Have a blessed day.